As you all should know, at this point of the semester, my name is Cody Bonanno. I am unable to present my presentation to the class as I had to attend a family wedding in Pennsylvania. For this reason, the mitigation bank was one of the last time I will see most of you. I will miss all of you, and especially this class. Anyway, as you can see, I did my paper on the conservation of the blue whale. So, welcome aboard. Okay, I had to throw a little pun in there. Sorry, I had to put that. Continuing on. The blue whale is listed on the IUCN, or International Union for Conservation of Nature's red list of endangered species. Of course it is, and that's why I was able to choose this as my topic. Today there are roughly between 10,000 and 25,000 blue whales. This number is slowly recovering after the global whaling ban was initiated. Even after such conservation acts were initiated, other threats such as ship strikes and climate change remains an issue. So a brief overview on the scientific name of the blue whale, which is Balænoptera muscularis. This genus name clearly states that blue whales use baleen to feed. The primary food source of the blue whale is krill. Isn't it ironic that the biggest animal in the world feeds on one of the smallest? Yes, like I previously mentioned, the blue whale is the largest animal ever known to exist. Adults range from 79 feet to 99 feet in length, while females can be up to 33 feet longer than males. Not to mention the sheer size of a blue whale is hard to imagine, especially since they can weigh up to 200 tons. To put that into perspective, an average adult African elephant weighs 6 tons. For comparison reasons, the figure to the right presents relationships between an airplane, a humpback whale, school buses, and elephants. This shows the size relationship between each of those. This massive animal is surprisingly fast, as they can typically cruise at 10 miles per hour and can reach speeds up to 30 miles per hour for short bursts. To power such a large body, the blue whale's heart is the size of a small car, and its heartbeat can be detected up to 2 miles away. If you think that is far, that is nothing compared to their calls, which have been measured at 188 decibels, while a jet engine is only 144 decibels. These calls can travel hundreds to thousands of miles due to the low frequency of sound associated with their calls. Blue whales have the lowest frequency of all whale calls. Lower frequency sounds travel further than in the ocean while maintaining social groups over longer distances. With prime sea conditions, whales have been recorded to make calls from Hawaii to California. This is actually how a blue whale demonstrates its fitness to females. By having a deep and loud sound, females are able to determine and choose their mates by comparing calls. Among the species of blue whales, there are two subspecies, Breventia and Intermedia. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but there are also a few populations as well. There's the North Atlantic, which has either 1,000 to 2,000 individuals, the Antarctic, which has roughly 1,700 individuals, the Southern Indian Ocean, which is unknown, as well as the Northern Indian Ocean, that is also unknown, and the Western Pacific is also unknown, and the Eastern Northern Pacific is also is roughly 3,000 individuals. Sorry, that one is actually known. Eastern Pacific, Southern Pacific individuals range of about 1,400 individuals. As you can see, not a lot of actual numbers on these whales are known, but populations are known though. Previously said, while the number of alleles per loci ranged from 5 to 9, there were significantly different loci when the Heidi-Weinberg equilibrium was used. These numbers can be used to improve conservation priorities used for proposals and for the management of blue whales. Alright, and this slide is also talking about another work, actually a following work of Torres Flores, as performed following research on genetic identity and the relationship of 60 blue whale biopsy samples that were collected. Here he genotyped each sample using the same 7 macrosatellite loci I mentioned earlier, and from this result, there was no significant difference in either the haplotype or genotype frequencies between populations, while there were significant differences between both the mitochondrial and microsatellite analyses. Therefore, they are different, and this is also backed up by morphological and acoustic differences as well. With two different subspecies, there are possibilities of hybridization, especially since there are differences among subspecies, including geographic distribution, morphology, vocalizations, and genetics. Attard, another scientist that I studied, collected data from the feeding season of a pygmy blue whale where were using the waters off Antarctica when they migrated and then bred during the winter with another Antarctic subspecies. From this, potential reasons for this include whaling, climate change, and the combination of the two. As effects of both of these are plausible for the change in proportion of pygmy blue whales of Antarctica over the past 4 decades, which whaling is banned. So basically, the banment is causing for these different hybridizations to occur due to not so many whales to breed with. With different subspecies, there are clearly different seasonal movements and migration patterns for each to be followed and studied. Currently, there is little information known about seasonal movements. Due to difficulties assessing populations, degree of overlap, temporal and spatial overlap between Antarctic and pygmy whale populations, as well as each of the pygmy populations was found at different sites during different seasons. This can be due to the diversity of the Antarctic. Because of this, it is important for the areas of, it is important to find where these areas of previous whaling grounds were found for breeding. Well, I'm sorry about this. So why are they endangered? Especially when the only predators that they have are humans and orcas. Before whaling, there were an estimated 250,000 blue whales. This number fell to about 1,000 individuals in the 1920s. That is until 1946, when blue whales, along with other whale species, have been granted protection from commercial hunting by the IWC, or International Whaling Commission. In 1966, the IWC and Endangered Species Act declared blue whales a protected species worldwide. Today, the blue whale has a truly global distribution, as they are found in all oceans except the Antarctic and enclosed seas. Among the 10,000 to 25,000 blue whales left, only one population off the eastern North Pacific coast of California is showing true signs of recovery at about 2,000 individuals. Other populations, such as the pygmy blue whale, is said to be confined in the Indian Ocean, which was until recent studies have said otherwise. Other populations, such, I'm sorry, I'm repeating what I'm saying. 150, I'm sorry, once again. Recent research suggests that population levels of conservation is required to prevent the loss of biodiversity within a species. This does not always include the breeding and feeding of the same populations. Further research on each of these populations is currently being assessed using satellite telemetry and to confirm their findings. Today, whales are threatened by chemical and sound pollution, habitat loss, overfishing of krill, ship strikes, and becoming entangled in fishing gear. Climate change could have also been a major factor on the impact of blue whales due to food supply. This is because global warming is directly associated with the acidification of the ocean, which may impact krill populations, the primary food source of blue whales. Due to climate change predictions, frontal zones are also being pushed further south. Frontal zones are characterized as boundaries between different water masses. Here, water can rise from the depths and bring up large amounts of nutrients that stimulate the growth of phytoplankton that is essential for populations of prey species for blue whales. Due to changes in location of these frontal zones, blue whales would have to migrate further to reach each of these areas and use these reserves to sustain themselves for the rest of the year. The future of blue whales looks promising, with the overall number of blue whales increasing. This is because of conservation efforts such as monitoring the status of northern Pacific stock of blue whales, implementing ship strike reduction, placing observers on research vessels that aren't necessarily for whaling, such as sharks or other types of research, production measures of the Pacific offshore cetacean take reduction plan is also another active plan that is using precautions to save the blue whales as well. Sadly, this recovery plan does not apply to Iceland, Norway, or the Russian Federation. Therefore, because they have objected this provision. Therefore, it is important to review yeah, sorry I'm sounding a little sick today. I actually have a really bad fever and don't even know if it's because of this wedding, but I will miss you all in this class. And these are my references.